Hello, and welcome to the Lucy Liu Show, the fueling station for your mind, business, and life. And now, here's your host, Lucy Liu.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to episode 162. I hope you're having a beautiful sunny day. And in case there's a storm, just remember storms are temporary and more blessings are coming your way. Today, I would like to talk about the topic of making business pivots. Since the pandemic, so many businesses have made pivots, whether it's repositioning or considering new markets or changing businesses completely. And I, for one, is someone who is all for doing it as quickly as possible if you feel called for the pivot, because many businesses pivot multiple times. So don't give up on your business life if you fear you'll have to make a pivot even a few times to get your business back on track. If you're going to pivot, whether it's once, twice, or even several times, you should do it as soon as possible to prevent losing time, effort, and money. Of course, pivoting can be risky, but if you're paying attention to your clients and market needs, your pivot can just be the next golden opportunity and offer you so much room for expansion. And that's why I have my guest today, Inbal Claudio, who pivoted from being a candle maker to tech founder. She built a tech platform with no tech experience. Although it wasn't easy, it's super rewarding once you realize your pivot is successful. If you need help with more confidence, head over to www.confidentandepic.com to grab my secret to doubling your confidence in 30 seconds. And without further ado, here's Inbal. Welcome to the show, Inbal.
Thank you so much for having me, Lucy. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to chat about your business pivot. Did that happen during the pandemic?
It actually didn't. I came up with the idea for my new business November of 2019. However, I started building it and working on it March of 2020. My husband, who was an officer in the Marine Corps, actually just deployed. So me and my 6-month-old moved across country back in with my parents for 6 months, a week before the pandemic hit, and I started to build this business then.
Wild story. So let's back up a little bit. Before that, you made candles. Tell us about that business.
Yeah, so I launched my candle company, Goldwick, August 2017. My husband and I were just dating back then, and I wanted to kind of just start a business to make a little bit of extra money. I launched that, and then 3 months later, we moved across country. We got stationed in North Carolina and had to rebuild, essentially. So I had tons of friends, community in Southern California, had great events and people showing up, and then had to rebuild in North Carolina. So I did that. It was great. I was doing shows and markets. And then my first daughter was born August of 2019. And I had to really shift my business model because I couldn't do in-person shows again anymore. I was nursing and that just wasn't feasible. So I had to do more online sales. And I just felt like there was a community lacking for female founders. And that's kind of where I got the idea for my current business.
So tell us more about your current business, Like Minded. So it's a tech platform, but you have no tech background.
Right. So Like Minded Collective is a free social networking platform just for female founders. So we have social networking platform. So you can build out a profile, you can search. We have an awesome search criteria where Facebook and Instagram just take so many hours, waste of time to search for exactly who you're looking for. Our search feature is amazing. You can message people back and forth, and you have the ability to post on a feed as well. And there's no restrictions, there's no algorithm, you just really connect. And then we do weekly workshops, all for free. So every single week, there's a new expert that comes in to teach. We do co-working sessions, we do monthly networking events. And yeah, I built out this platform with a developer, actually 4 different developers over 2 years. I started with a 6-month-old and I ended with a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. So I launched a business and had a baby in the same year, which was wild. But that's basically my platform now. We've done a few pivots along the way, but that's what it is now, a social networking platform for female founders.
So what has been the hardest part of your business pivot?
I think just wondering if I'm a good fit to do this because of my lack of background and experience. But I just did as much research as I could. I connected with as many people as I could, which made me want to launch this platform even more because I realized there were not enough women in tech that I could reach out to. There were not enough women in social media that I could reach out to connect and learn from. I had to go to all these different places like Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, paid communities, influencer marketing platforms. I just wanted them all in one place. So that was kind of the hardest part, was really finding out how to build this. Like I said, I went through 4 different developers, 8 launch delays. What I thought would take 3 months took 2 years. So there was a lot of difficult pivots along the way.
So how were you able to find these developers?
So the first one, I reached out to somebody. I used to manage restaurants, and I reached out to somebody that I had worked with in the past to kind of talk to his business. He wasn't the owner, but I guess ownership had changed. And so this new owner that I had spoken to turned out to be horrible, but that's who I went with in the beginning because I was on a budget and they were the cheapest ones, which, note to self, don't ever go with the cheapest route, especially when it comes to tech development. And then about 6 months later, I ended up firing them because they were horrible. And I had to start from scratch. Essentially, they had like built out a few aspects of it, but I went to Facebook groups and I started posting and asking. I asked my network of people who knew of developers that could code in this specific language that it was written in. And it took me about 4 months to find somebody who was not the actual developer. He was going to manage the project. And I told him my issues that I had experienced, and he kind of ran into the same issues with the first person that he hired. So it was like another 6 months waste of time. He had to hire somebody else. And then we eventually, 2 years later, were very close to launching. And then at this point, I didn't want to work with a project manager anymore. I just wanted to work with a developer firsthand. So I went to Upwork and I did a lot of research, talked to a lot of developers, and finally found the one that I have now.
So when are you launching?
So I launched 8 months ago.
Okay, congratulations. And that
Thank you.
took a lot of consistent, resilient work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. Yes, we launched officially February 2nd. So 2/2/22 is our official launch date.
Congratulations again. And what are some tips for brands and influencers to find collaborations?
So to reach out to one another, either on the platform or to just, it's so different. Like with brands, they can reach out to influencers and just kind of tell them like, hey, this is my budget, this is my product. They can post about the influencer, they can repost, share, kind of show them that they're interested in working together. And then same thing goes the other way. So if you're an influencer and you want to work with a brand, buy their product, share their product, then the collaboration can happen.
Mm-hmm. And if you have a couple tips for other business owners who want to do a business pivot, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to reach out to people who are doing what they're doing and just ask for 10 to 15 minutes of their time. And most likely, if they're good people, they will be more than happy to chat with you, to talk to you, or maybe send you some resources that have helped them. Just surround yourself with people that are doing what you're doing and just ask for help. The worst that could happen is they say no.
Yes, yes. You only get what you ask for.
Exactly.
Awesome. So you are a mom. Obviously, we all have to juggle mom life and business life. Do you think being a mom helped you actually with your business pivot?
It was the reason I was able to come up with the idea for my business. I don't think that I would have seen a need for this necessarily if I wasn't put in the situation. So I think it definitely helped. There are more hurdles with kids. I'm also pregnant again with baby number 3. So just timing, but I think it's a good thing because now I'm trying to raise funds, and what I would have done in 2023, I'm kind of fast forwarding, and it's making me do things a lot sooner and quicker. So I think it's a good thing.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Let our kids be the why, right? They see your work ethic. They're going to grow up looking up to a confident, hardworking mom who enjoys doing what they love to do, and they're going to pick that up.
Yeah, I know my daughter, I still make candles. I don't market it or anything. It's just like returning customers. And so my daughter helps me with the candles. She helps me open boxes. She's 3. So it's really cute. She loves helping. So yeah, they have to know, right, what their mom does. And that's the goal, is to just hopefully have them do something of their own or do something that they love, whatever that may be.
Beautiful, beautiful. And since you transitioned into a completely different industry or different field, what's your best tip to network with new people and building genuine connections in your new business?
Yeah, so I love talking about this because I feel like people think of networking as just like, hi, my name is so and so. This is what I do. Here's my information. Let me know if you're interested in buying something. But it's so different than that. When you network with somebody, it's actually about getting to know them as a person and connecting with them so you are real, right? Where you're not just a number or a transaction. So when you build actual relationships with people and connect with people, then you're going to be top of mind when they need to send somebody to a certain place. And so my biggest tip is to just genuinely care about people. Like, ask questions back that can make them feel like you checked out their Instagram profile. I'll give you a perfect example. So I had somebody reach out to me on Instagram. It was a mastermind. And so we were having a little bit of conversation back and forth. And he goes, "Oh, nice to meet you, brother." And I had like all my photos on Instagram are like me, right? I'm not a guy. So it would have taken them 2 seconds to actually look at my profile to realize I was a girl. And so I called him out on it. I said, "Hey, if you actually took 1 second to look at my profile, you would have known that I'm actually a woman." And they didn't respond or anything. So it just takes a second to kind of like get to know somebody or make an extra effort to not be cookie cutter, to really network and connect with people.
That is so true. You don't know how many pitches I get of male guests to be on my podcast. And I mean, they're all absolutely amazing. But if you just taken a look at my show, you would know that all my guests are females. So yeah, it's just really that authenticity needs to be there.
Yeah. And it really doesn't take very long. Right? It just takes 2 minutes to open somebody's website. Even if you're sending a message, maybe try to use their first name, which may not be on their Instagram, but it would be on their about page on their website. So just doing a little bit of research makes the person who you're reaching out to feel a little bit more like you care.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're talking about time, you can do a little stalking and see what time zone they are in, what's convenient for them, right? It's just the little things.
Yep. It just takes a little bit of effort.
Beautiful. As you go through your days, is there a favorite quote that you go by?
So this is so generic, but I love the Maya Angelou quote. "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And about 4 months ago, I made my platform completely free. I was doing subscription, but I realized that women need a free resource. And I had enough runway to kind of do this for a while and then figure out how to monetize later. But I really care about every single person that signs up on the platform, everybody that shows up to the events, every person that shows up to the workshops. And I try to make people really know they matter. That was my why for starting this platform, is women, no matter their stage of business, aspiring all the way to people who have raised millions, is to really make them feel that they matter. So I love that quote because it really resonates with like my why.
That is so beautiful. I'm signing up right now. You sold me, girl. All right. So where do we go to sign up?
So the website is likemindedcollective.com. On Instagram, it's like.minded.collective. And all the links are there. I run my socials. So if there's any questions, please send me a message, connect, follow. There's nothing that I love more than connecting with female founders. So please reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To all the beautiful souls listening, thank you for joining me on this episode of The Lucy Liu Show. When I'm not podcasting, I am coaching high-achieving women in life transitions, getting unstuck, kissing overwhelm goodbye, and living a more joyful and fulfilled life through strategic goal setting and mindset transformation. It would mean the world to me if you subscribe, rate, or share this with a friend. And don't forget to join me for the next episode. Remember, there is always a way and more blessings are coming your way. For free resources and show notes, head over to lucylucoaching.com.